dude.
That's crazy.
Oh, somebody parked a Volkswagen Rabbit on this guy's leg one time outside of our schoolhouse, and I saw a virgin fucking lift it right off his leg.
Wild.
Yo, what?
And this was in fucking, who knows when it was.
Every scene is from like the movie Powder. Every scene, it's amazing.
What are you talking about?
Every scene of
you
your
ever heard
life.
stories like that?
I've never seen a virgin pick up a car.
Yeah.
They pick up AK-47s now. That's the problem. Virgins now are picking up AR-15s. Hopefully they start picking up cars again. That would be nice.
They need to start
That'd be
passing
great.
out some pussy then, bro.
I agree with you.
Because they're shutting down all the pussy, bro. That's who's doing it.
That's right. Yes, I will take the controversial stance that I believe Epstein is a pedophile.
Okay.
You heard it here.
Okay.
Oh,
and
boy.
you think Ghislaine was his little, his runner?
Yeah, I think that's pretty well established. I think Miss Maxwell was involved in some lurid and inappropriate activities. But as Trump would say, I wish her well. Yeah. Because that's the way rich people talk. Rich people, every now and then rich people just become rich and they forget that they have a job.
Yeah.
He forgot he was the president.
Yeah.
He was at a golf tee on Mar-a-Lago in his mind, and he said what he would have said to some CEO that was next to him. He go, yeah, I wish her well. Point when you're under the balls and you're sleeping in some hair of
keep
whatever,
your head out.
you keep your head out of the balls. That's a real moment. That's a real moment in your life. Like one of those moments for me, I was Santa Claus in like Harlem, and I was getting shit on all day by like 4-year-old kids.
And you can say black kids.
Yeah, they were. Well, some of them were Dominican, but they were just roasting me, just shamelessly. None of them were happy to see Santa. These are hardened little kids. They're like, "Fuck you, you fat fuck." I'm like, I'm Santa, you know.
Yeah.
And I would jingle the bell, and then every now and then some drunk would like dance with me, and I was like, "This is a rough. I hope comedy works out." You know, so that had to be the ball pit moment when your head's out of the balls. You're like, God, I hope this works out. I did cocaine with a substitute, and that's all. That's as far as I got. We just.
How old were you?
I was maybe 18, maybe like the year I graduated high school. We were doing coke with one of our substitutes.
And was he a homosexual or not?
No, it was a chick.
It was a woman.
Yeah, she was
Wow.
just.
Subs are the end, dude.
What class?
She was an English sub, so she was an idiot.
Yeah.
So she wasn't smart. She was just probably trying to go out and sniff some coke and, fuck her way into the lower middle class. She was fuck her way into a little Levitt house in Long Island. Good woman. Good woman.
Oh my God, bro. You got to play Santa more often, dude. I would love to watch the small black kids attack you.
They just roasted me. They were brutal.
Did you ever get to did you ever have somebody, whatever, who's, I don't know the ins and outs of it, but applying and you looked at their stuff and you're like, there's no way we can give this guy anything.
Well, the worst one we had was a guy who was clearly like had dementia or didn't know where he was. And his son wanted to open up a strip club in Miami. And his son just took all the money out of his house. And we were sitting at the closing and we're signing papers. And this old guy's like struggling to sign papers. And his son is like, keep signing, Daddy. It's almost over. And the closing attorney said, I'm not really comfortable with this. And I'm like, yeah, it ain't great. But... I mean, at that point, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Shout out to the Vasquezes. But it's a guy that came to me. He's like, my father's, an old guy. I want to suck all the money out of his house and go open up a strip club. It's like, all right.
How's that strip club doing?
I don't know, Tom, but if I was a betting man, I don't know.
I bet that's a great business.
I
though.
think it
really
is.
do.
And
I love sales. I miss it. And I love it. I love sitting in a room with uneducated people, calling people over the phone and trying to build an empire.
Here's a guy, obviously, who's looking to date.
This guy looks like he's in trouble. This guy looks like he didn't answer a contact tracing call. He's infected 38 people.
Hey, Mr. Dillon, huge fan. Mr. Vaughn, long-time listener, watcher, first-time caller and communicator. Pardon my back mullet. I don't have a top mullet, but I got a little back hair mullet.
He's got that heat coming
Anyway,
in.
I got a crazy question for Mr. Dillon. What do you think about the assassin killing himself that shot the judge's son? This Ghislaine Maxwell shit's getting a little crazy.
Yeah, it's real
on
creepy.
us.
Yeah.
So let's get into that.
Yeah.
First, let's just establish that you believe Epstein was a pedophile. No, I'm just saying, let's just establish some ground.
Who are you working for? Wait a minute, hold on. What?
If I come to you right now, let's go back. You're a mortgage broker in Long Island. I meet you in a diner, which is you call your office.
The Imperial Diner in Freeport.
Yeah,
Absolutely phenomenal.
Yeah, you go.
We got to make it real.
Yeah.
So it's the Imperial Diner in Freeport on Merrick Road.
Yeah, you say meet me at the office, and I hear you hang up.
We'll spill hot coffee on you by mistake and look at you and go.
Yeah. And when you tell me to meet you at your office, I hear the clang of a payphone when you hang up.
Yeah.
And so I meet you at your office. I come in. I say, hey, how you doing? Nice to meet you, Mr. Dillon. Me and my wife just got married. I'm a comedian. I saved up about $80K. She wants to live. We're having a baby. She wants to
Mr.
live on the
Pappas.
island.
Mr. Pop, I'm very glad.
Can I get a loan?
Not only can you get a loan, but let me tell you something.
Yeah.
How much of that $80K are you prepared to spend on the property?
I don't know, Mr. Dillon. I'm a pretty conservative guy. I saved every single dollar from my more recent shows.
How much are you prepared to spend?
Hold on, let me go into Maurice's brain.
No. Of that $80,000, how much would you like to spend? Are you willing to spend all of it?
I'm willing to spend about 60 or 70 of it.
Mr. Pappas, guess how much of that 80 you're gonna have to spend?
How much?
Nothing.
What?
Nothing. You're not gonna spend anything because let me explain something to you. Sit down. The wife is lovely. Would you like a cup of coffee?
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
Yeah. Can I
Mr.
get
Pappas.
Can I get pancakes while I'm here?
Yeah, you could get anything. The bricks and sticks of your house.
Yeah.
Appreciate. The frame, the land. They appreciate and value. You know what your money does in your house for you, Mr. Pappas? It does absolutely nothing. You know what the wealthiest people do with real estate, Mr. Pappas? A lot of them finance it. Why? Because your mortgage is your only tax write-off. It is the only write-off. It is your only fucking weapon against the federal government. The larger the loan you take, the better it is for you financially. And you take that $80,000 and I'm not wrong, by the way, and you put, well, I'm a little, and you put it in tax-exempt securities like Roth IRAs. Mr. Pappas, you maximize the amount of tax-exempt retirement accounts that you put your money in with that $80,000. You make it work for you. You do not sink it into a house. Yes or yes? So the reality is this. We're taking the biggest loan possible. That, Mr. Pappas, will set you free. Now sign this piece of paper for Christ. And at that point, you and your wife are crying.
Yeah.
And then we sign papers, and you go die.
But how do you get the loan from the bank? They're
Well,
giving them away.
back in the day, what are we doing? We're talking about now or back in the day?
No, back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, I go to the bank. I said, Kelly, we got one. And Kelly, I said, Mr. Pappas and his wife Brittany's from Long Island. They want to go buy a piece of marble hunk of shit. And Kelly has got Coke running down her nose from last night. She's got a fucking double tall non-fat latte from Starbucks non-fat. She's not getting any.
Do you ever think that do you ever meet women that are close on like there's almost like because sometimes I almost wonder if at a certain point that gay and straight will almost be primitive descriptions of people.
Might be, yeah. Maybe.
Like I know there's a lot of forced stuff and like, and people like in this place now where they don't know or they, and people are just.
I think sex will be primitive. I think people are on so many SSRIs they can't even come, and they can't get dicks hard. Just
it'd be crazy almost.
You look at a lot of these relationships, you're like, there's no sex happening. These people just hold each other's hands. They softly cry. They tweet about racism. They adopt a dog together. But you realize how sexual a lot of these relationships are. You're like, a lot of this is probably just people that have massive anxiety laying next to each other, having multiple panic attacks, and then someone's strong enough to go make a cup of like non-caffeinated tea.
But if you ever come during a tough panic attack, bro, it's almost good.
Is that the move? Yeah. Okay, is that the move? Well, I tweet out things hoping to, to get something, and no one cares. Everyone's like, that's okay.
You ever rile anyone up?
Sometimes people get
People
mad.
are caring more now, though.
I think people
Your
are caring
career's
more
getting
now.
bigger
Yeah,
now.
it's been better now. Last 6 months.
Yeah.
I had to really turn it up. Say Meghan McCain fucked her dad. I had to take it to the next level.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then people were like, oh, okay, we'll listen to this.
Incest will get people to move.
Yeah, I had to say she had sex with her father's corpse, and then people were like, oh, okay.
But here's the thing about incest, dude. Everybody's like, no, right?
Yeah.
But what I'm thinking about is, dude, back in the day, you didn't have, the only people that lived around you were kind of family or somebody that was,
Yeah, close.
And you didn't have, everyone didn't have a bicycle, or like if you had a bicycle, then maybe you'd fuck somebody that wasn't distantly related to you.
Yeah.
But if you didn't, you could only have sex with as far as you could walk or as far as you could.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so people would have sex more locally.
Yeah, you didn't have a choice.
I think that still
Yeah.
goes on. I think that's still probably happening.
Oh yeah, there's some areas and stuff you go and you're like, oh,
It's still
everybody's
probably.
kind of.
I think people are using that exact rationale too when they're in court. They're like, "Listen, I have sex as far as I walk," and then there's a judge going, "Okay, sounds great."
Yeah,
you know?
She like a new age Avril Lavigne. Remember her?
Oh yeah, she
Skater
did
boy?
say that she likes Avril Lavigne. I think
Is Avril Lavigne no longer a hit? She's just kind of.
Oh, I mean, Avril
People
Lavigne
think
is
she
like,
died, and then she had like
forget it.
some medical issue.
Best case, she died. That's the best case. Avril Lavigne is dead. I mean,
She's
God
not,
only
though.
knows.
There's a rumor.
She's probably in a Ralph's right now shooting heroin. You know?
Things haven't worked out.
Yeah.
Do you know she got super sick?
With what?
Fame? I don't know.
Reality. Yeah, there was this disease called people moving on.
No, she had
Real
Lyme.
bad.
She had Lyme
She
disease.
caught it. It was fatal.
I hated myself that like looking back now.
Looking back now,
yeah, at the
Yeah.
time I was like, this is dope.
Yeah.
I'm a YouTube star.
Yeah.
And now I'm just like, fuck.
You were just acting out.
I think so. I think
Yeah.
I was just lashing. I was pissed that everyone hated
You were
me.
doing,
I was
like, the
pissed that
crazy
everyone was pissed at me.
Yeah, you're doing the crazy pranks.
Yeah.
Have you ever done one of those where you regretted it, like a crazy prank? Well, obviously the one that we all know about.
The,
Yeah,
the one in the forest. Probably.
yeah, right, that
Probably
one.
regretted
Which
that
I didn't
one.
even think was offensive. I was like, whatever.
I didn't either.
I
You
didn't
don't,
think
you
it was
don't, you
a
don't
big deal.
strike me as a person who found it offensive.
No, I mean, me and my friends played with dead people, alive people, people
the
who were
fuck
in the
are you
middle, but we
saying?
just
What
didn't.
are you
We couldn't
saying?
get, you know.
Why did you-
We just couldn't get any. We couldn't monetize it because we were from the generation that can't monetize the sociopathy. But I wish we. No, but that wasn't fair. But have you ever done something where you're like, oh, I shouldn't have.
yeah, man.
I poured gasoline on my brother. Or I tried to pour gasoline on my brother. He ran away and I slipped in it and almost broke my shoulder.
Yeah, see that?
Dude, my boy Todd one time at Halloween drank a fucking half-gallon of gasoline, dude, and no joke, we never fucking saw him again.
Yeah.
Never-
And guess what?
never
He's
have seen him.
probably fine.
Oh, I think he's fine, but I think he's
Yeah.
never going to be fully fine.
Right.
You know? Oh, speaking of Asians, bro, we got a fucking Asian right here.
Oh.
Let's hear this beautiful viet.
Hey, what's up, guys? So my question is for both you guys. So if you guys had the chance to have an interview or a podcast with anyone, dead or alive, who would that be?
Fuck, man. That question always sucks, I feel like.
Yeah.
No offense, man. Sorry.
Yeah.
I shouldn't have said that.
That's
The guy's right
it's a
there.
basic bitch question.
It's just, yeah,
It's
man.
a very basic bitch question. They're closing all the parking garages in New York now at midnight because homeless people, I guess, are just walking down into them and they're like, hey, this is a fun cave.
Yeah.
What could happen here? Yeah. I like cars.
Yeah.
You know, like I imagine like homeless people like there's a cave full of luxury cars 2 blocks away.
Yeah.
We don't have to be in the rain tonight.
Right.
And so they are closing those at midnight. So then me and my opener, we get back and we're driving around the city trying to find a spot. Everything's just weird, man. We went into a bodega at like 1. We're like standing there. There's a homeless woman in there begging for tea. The dude's like, it's your 3rd tea. And then you're looking at 2 guys that are kind of walking around the bodega and you're like, something feels off. Like, are they about to whip a gun out? Am I just paranoid because of the news? Nobody's out at night. New York City used to be, and I lived there for years.
Bumping, dude.
Bumping. 3 a.m. I'd be in a diner yelling at people about how fucked this business was. You know,
Yeah.
I have been denied the amount of bitter, resentful bile that came out of my mouth as marinara sauce was flying out of it, mozzarella stick bites, just being like, the denial. This bitch gets
Yeah.
a special. Just nasty, real horror. I wasted so much in New York. Like, I loved it. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
But like, just the amount of time I spent walking around being angry and not in awe of what an amazing city it was. Like my opener, he paints this picture of like, it's so amazing. He's like, it's just so easy to meet girls and you're dating and it's just, you're there. You guys can go get margaritas. And I'm like, but what about all the hatred? Like, didn't you just walk around every day consumed with a darkness in you didn't know how to get rid of? He's like, well, not really, no. He's like, I was dating, and I'm like, but what about the late nights on the roof of your building smoking a cigarette, cursing God? I love it there.
I'll never live there again because me and New York have that relationship where we destroy each other. I was a tour guide. I ruined people's lives. I ruined vacations that people had saved up their entire life to come to New York.
I love when like a black chick comes to my show by herself and she goes, I'm a huge fan.
That's
and I go,
huge.
fuck yeah.
I like that so much more. When a guy that looks like me says they're my fan, I'm like, who gives a fuck? When a small Asian elderly woman comes up to me at the end of this, which I've never had happen. I'll be very honest. That's never happened in real life. Okay? It's never happened.
Yeah.
Ever. But I want that to happen. Like, I want her to come up to me, not even speak, just nod, and then walk out. And that's what I'm waiting for. That's why I keep doing it.
The small age is just... That's exactly what I've wanted.
And that's what I want. I don't need a fucking guy from, the suburbs of Chicago who looks like he failed a police test like I did and, blamed it on Jews or something, telling me, I thought that was a good rant. Yeah, of course you did. Of course you did.
Form a human centipede. What's the order going to be?
Oh, interesting.
Oh, my God. Shit. What are you
so
on?
complex.
What website are you on, Nick?
These are our fans.
Yeah. These are people coming in from 8chan to discuss.
It's 4chan now, dude.
Right. They took 4 away.
We're eating cleanest, so I would probably say you up top.
Yeah.
Man.
Tight.
You're up front.
I got to go in the back because I have the least amount of going on in my career.
That's true, the caboose, dude.
Yeah, I have the least amount going on. My manager would be like, you're lucky to be there. You eat who's ever asked. They tell you to eat. Don't start any problems. York, to just see it. And I would grab the microphone and I'd go, this city sucks, and I am dying in this city. I have nothing, and everyone I know has nothing. Everyone. I said, I know some of the most talented people, and they're getting nowhere. And people were like, this is really, we just want to see the Lion King. We just want to see the Lion King.
Were you doing bus tours?
Yeah, double-decker bus tours. I would stand on the bus, and I would just go out there, and I would tell people, I would say, they'd be like, it seems like you have such a fun job. I say, ask Winter. You know how many operations Winter's had on her foot? 6. She's had 6 foot operations. She's 68 years old. Okay? She doesn't want to show you Carnegie Hall anymore. She wants the long sleep. Like, it was such... it was bad.